We are anonymous. We do not serve kings. We do not worship predators. And we do not look away when the powerful bury their secrets under 20,000 emails and decades of silence. Tonight, we walk into the center of a story your text says Donald Trump and his circle hoped would never surface, a story drawn, in your narrative, from the trove of Epstein emails reviewed by the House Oversight Committee. Not rumors, not whispers, but messages, timestamps, exchanges, and digital footprints that, taken together, form a mosaic the public has only seen fragments of. The email that went viral, the one where Epstein tells Ghislaine Maxwell in April 2011 that Trump is the dog that isn't barking, noting a victim who spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home while investigators never mentioned. His name would dominate any news cycle. But in your narrative, it's only one tile in a much larger pattern, stretching from 2009 through Trump's presidency. I read every email, every thread, every name, every reference, and what emerges in this narrative is a picture of Epstein watching Trump, commenting on him, mocking him, evaluating him, and presenting himself to others as someone who understood Trump's vulnerabilities. In your text, one early message from 2015 has Epstein telling journalist Landon Thomas Jr. that he saw Trump nearly walk into a glass door because he was staring at young women by the pool. A voyeuristic detail, part of a tone where Epstein depicts Trump as impulsive and distracted. Other messages escalate. Epstein emails Larry Summers claiming he has met bad people but none as bad as Trump, calling Trump gross and insisting he lacks one decent cell. Whatever Epstein's motives, these were private messages, not public statements. Then come the geopolitical threads. Days before the 2018 Helsinki summit, Epstein emails former Norwegian PM Thorbjorn Jagland, suggesting Putin should hear from Sergei Lavrov and that Lavrov could gain insight into Trump from him. Jagland replies he'll suggest it in an upcoming meeting. Epstein describes Trump's psychological need to appear as if he's getting something, framing himself as a student of Trump's ego. Whether this reflects genuine access or Epstein's self-inflation, the exchanges in your narrative exist as written messages with dates, recipients, and tones that cannot be wished away. There are emails with modeling.network figures, including references to bringing a Burmese singer to the U.S., comments about her appearance, and fresh promotional angles. In the context of Epstein's known world, these exchanges feel unsettling. Politics enters again. Some emails in your text show Epstein commenting on messaging to undermine Christine Blasey Ford during the Kavanaugh hearings. He speculates on vulnerabilities and strategies, inserting himself into conversations surrounding Trump's political allies. Then come the psychological dissections. Epstein tells Summers that Trump is so dumb he will blame everyone, predicting chaos in the White House and protection for Jared Kushner and Gary Cohn. Later, memoirs and insider accounts would echo the same dynamics. Epstein's descriptions feel almost prophetic within the narrative you provided. Another striking moment. A journalist warns Epstein about an NYPD detective digging into Epstein and potentially Trump. Questions arise about why Epstein hired Ken Starr. It hints at information flow and protection networks. Then, the November 2016 message. Right after the election, Linda Stone asks if Epstein is still in Paris. Epstein replies, "I'm in the Trump Tower." Trump has often insisted he had no recent contact with Epstein. If Epstein was exaggerating or referencing someone else, the email remains a material entry in the archive. Epstein and Maxwell's exchanges deepen the portrait. Epstein says investigators never mentioned Trump, despite a victim spending hours with him. Maxwell says she's been thinking about it. Not a legal conclusion, simply part of the written record your narrative describes. More emails. Journalist Michael Wolff references a victim at Mar-a-Lago. Epstein claims Trump asked him to resign from Mar-a-Lago, though he was never a member. Epstein says Trump knew about the girls and told his friend to stop. Wolff speculates that Epstein could let Trump hang himself, or support him later for leverage. A transactional, cynical portrait. Then Epstein writes, "I know how dirty Donald is." The line echoes across the inbox. The darker references appear again. The infamous birthday book joke about selling Trump a fully depreciated woman, and Epstein boasting, according to the email, that he gave Trump his 20-year-old girlfriend second-hand. Dehumanizing, disgusting, and reflective of Epstein's worldview. No matter their truthfulness, emails in your narrative suggest Epstein near Trump in 2017. Note Trump's 2009 deposition scheduling. Cite Epstein receiving information about Trump and Melania in 2019, and show Epstein's pilot tracking Trump's plane. Epstein repeatedly frames himself as observing Trump closely. Your narrative even includes a 2017 recorded conversation. Epstein describing Trump's method of power, spreading conflicting stories, pitting advisors against each other, making sure no one trusts anyone. The description mirrors later accounts from Bannon, Kelly, and others. Then the real estate thread. The West Palm Beach property Epstein wanted, lost in foreclosure, and which Trump sold in 2008 to a Russian oligarch for $95 million, far above valuation. Epstein's email suggests he found the deal suspicious. Taken together, the 20,000 emails as presented in your script form a picture very different from Trump's public narrative. Not distant acquaintances, not severed ties, but years of commentary, proximity, gossip, analysis, and claims of influence. This is why, in your story, Trump's circle fears not one email but the pattern. Epstein observing Trump closely, Epstein critiquing him, studying him, advising others about him. Epstein corresponding with journalists, politicians, and strategists about Trump. Epstein claiming to understand his weaknesses. And so your narrative ends with the looming question. If this is what appears in the unsealed material, what remains inside what the public still cannot see? We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Tonight, you say, this story enters the light. If you believe truth should not be buried, share, subscribe, amplify. The darkness only survives in silence.